Well, it seems like EA has gone ahead and done the impossible and made Road to the College Football Playoff even less worth playing here in the middle of May. We saw the last games we played with Washington State. We finished out our previous season, got 2 wins against a Tier 3 and a Tier 2 team. They just quit out immediately. But we didn't get any ranking points, so we ended up not making the playoffs. Thought maybe they just quit out right away. For some reason, that didn't count. I wasn't sure what was going on. So then we hop into a new season with Washington State, get a win against South Carolina, and again, no ranking points to be found. We're still at 136. You go to result history, there's nothing there. I've been watching some people on Twitch playing regs too, and the same thing. They're winning games, but their ranking just is never changing. I know in the grand scheme of things, winning the national championship in these seasons really doesn't mean a lot, but at least it's something to play for. As it stands right now, for not getting any ranking points, we literally have nothing to play for. We would just be going through the season and none of it would matter. So once EA fixes it, we'll be back playing some more Road to the College Football Playoff. I got a few more teams we definitely want to do before College Football 27 rolls around, but considering what's happening here, this seems like as good a time as any for us to kind of just take a look back at College Football 26 compared to College Football 25. And this is not going to just be however long this takes dump session on EA, because I really do think there are things that they did better in this game compared to 25. In fact, almost everything I feel like they changed, almost everything that they changed was for the better, but there's still a lot of issues with the game, including this brand new one that just kind of popped right up into our lap here. But first, let's talk about the positives of this game. A first one I had written down, and this is all just going to be, my opinion on it, mainly based on Road to the College Football Playoff stuff. We do some Dynasty. You can check out our online Dynasty. I'll put the link up here somewhere, but not enough for me to really know the ins and outs and really have too strong of opinion on how that all works. But speaking of Dynasty, actually, one of the first things I'm going to mention on this was them finally adding the cross-platform dynasties in College Football 26 compared to College Football 25. That was a huge win. We wouldn't really be able to run the online dynasty nearly as well as we do if we didn't have that cross-platform, so that was great. What else I like about this game is the playbooks. This is a very general take, a very general opinion. But then in 26, they took a lot of what was good in 25 and just kind of added stuff on top of it, like the service academies, for example. At Air Force, that still has their fun empty pistol offense, a lot of what made it fun in College Football 25, but now we added a whole new formation into that playbook with the wing bone sets. And Army, they really updated their shotgun stuff, empty academy in there now. And Navy getting empty flex bone, so they're still tweaking, they still added things. There weren't a ton there were some that just copied and pasted, but a lot of them got some fun stuff added. And just in general about this game is I love how many different playbooks can work. So I recorded this from our online dynasty. We're going to just go through a few different teams and see just the wide range of offensive playbooks we got throughout this whole thing. We're in Washington State here this season. We got Oregon State's in South Alabama. Just a ton of different options. Rice has been in a lot throughout the year. Currently they're set to Alabama, but they've been in quite a few. Liberty, some Flexbone, some different things. Sam Houston was in Hawaii, now in Texas. San Diego State running the air raid using Colorado State. Because even if you just want to run the air raid, there are 8, 9, 10, a lot of different playbooks to just run the air raid. Same with the veer and shoot. Southern Miss uses Texas State, Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, a lot of different options. Temple in that Oregon spread offense. You got Texas State, it's actually set to Washington State right now as well. Toledo, Arkansas State, they run a lot of Notre Dame in there too. They were running Washington State a little bit too, actually. Tulsa in a run and shoot of San Jose State, and you even got some power pro style offense there with UAB. So just a ton of different styles of offense. And within those styles, a lot of different playbooks that can work. So I love the variety of playbooks throughout this game. Now this one, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on, and that's fine. We can disagree and still be friends, but I am very happy they kept the playbooks locked to specific teams. If you want to use the best playbook, you've got to use that team. If you want to use the best team, you got to use that playbook. I love that. The last thing I want is to be like Madden. When you play regs in that game, you can not only change your playbook, but you can set it to be a custom playbook, which if that comes to Road to the College Football Playoff, I would lose my mind. I'm glad they kept that in 26, and I'm hoping they keep it in 27, but we will see. Next thing, just about Road to the College Football Playoff in general here, is that when you look for a game, you can search by tier, right? You could do this in College Football 25 as well. But in College Football 26, this actually works. In 25, it was much more of just a suggestion. You'd use a tier 5 team, you'd search tier 5, and you'd match up with Alabama. Now, if we search tier 3 with UCF, which is the next team I want to use here, we will match up with a tier 3 team. It might take a lot longer. That's a trade-off I'm willing to give if it means we're actually going to match up with tier 3 squads. That was fantastic. What I don't like about this is when you do get to the playoffs, if we can ever get there again, you can't technically search by tier, but it just does it by itself. If you're a tier 5 team going in the playoffs in College Football 26, it's only going to match you with the tier 5 team versus last year that was wide open. That I actually liked a little bit better in College Football 25, but just overall the searching by tier actually works this year. Thumbs up for me on that. Now, gameplay-wise, there's a few things they added on defense I think actually made defense a lot better. That being stunts and being able to custom adjust your zone. So I just recorded a quick thing over here in practice mode to show what I'm talking about. If I can find it, there we go. So yeah, you just hold down that Y button, you get the whole bunch of stunt menus. This made defense, when you're just sending 4, much better. You can actually get pressure with these different stunts that you can do now, and then you can do it at the line of scrimmage here as well. And then being able to custom adjust your zones here, I don't do it a ton, but when I have, it has come in so handy. If somebody's just doing a bunch of floods or something, deep corner routes that your regular zones just aren't getting back to, they're in no huddle, you can't do your zone drops, being able to custom adjust even those deep blues, which I don't think I've ever done in my life, but you can if you want to. Being able to just do those on the fly, super helpful, super great addition that EA made to the game this year to help make defense at least a little bit more viable. And then gameplay wise, I really feel like they took a lot of the really crazy stuff in College Football 25 that would just drive you nuts and really turned that down in College Football 26. Extender being the big one that always comes to mind. Jalen Milroe in College Football 25, that man was impossible to bring down. Now we still have like Lenora Sellers, but even that's not nearly as bad as it was with Milroe last year. High balls were a huge problem in College Football 25 in my opinion. If you could just highball anything, your defender would never react to it, you'd never be able to play it. There was just nothing you could do about high balls in College Football 25. That I feel like is mostly gone in College Football 26. I mean, there were people that would just highball every single pass. It was absolutely insane. And some of those most frustrating formations in College Football 25, F-Twins over and Wildcat. There's really not much you could do if you had a lower overall team going up against a higher overall team like in Alabama, even a South Carolina, and they were just running that F-Twins over jet sweep. For this, we actually grabbed, because I was just watching the other night, a Dub.Dubby playing College Football 25 regs, and he got pretty good by the F-Twins over of Alabama. So we'll pull that up here. Shout out to Dubby. He's using Miami of Ohio going up against Alabama. A 2nd and 9 here. And then here comes the jet sweep. Look at the blocking is just unbelievable. They're way too fast. There's just nothing you could do against. There was like hardly anything you could do against this play. You had to like blitz your slot corner, move him to a certain spot. You had to do a very specific set of things. Then we fast forward a little bit, another F-Twins over, this time going to Ryan Williams, and again just gets around everybody. The blocking unbelievable, set up beautifully, nothing you can do about it. And guess what, here comes one more, the very next play, this time going back to the right. Nobody even close to making a play, nobody even close to getting a stop. So that I'm very glad got toned down in College Football 26, because my goodness was that one of the most annoying things to go against. South Carolina's Wildcat and Alabama's F-Twins over. Those both getting tuned down to the extent they did. Huge win, in my opinion. In general, those are some of the things I like about College Football 26. Some improvements on things in 25. Some new additions that really, I think, helped gameplay-wise this year too. But now we're going to get to the things that I feel like we could do a little bit better. And believe it or not, this list is quite a bit longer than the list of things I like, and certainly at the top, there's never a doubt in my mind what my top complaint about this game is, and that is Stadium Pulse in Road to the College Football Playoff. For Dynasty, I think it makes a ton of sense in Dynasty. Get that home field advantage, get that little extra immersion in there, totally cool with it being in that format. But if I'm just loading up a random online head-to-head game, there's no reason, if I'm taking UL Monroe and end up matching up at Ohio State, that I have to deal with a Stadium Pulse on top of that as well. For 27, keep it in Dynasty, take it out of Road to the College Football Playoff. I am begging. Another thing that this I know is in Madden, so I'm hoping it's something that's going to come over. That seems to kind of be the pattern that we saw last year with like the cross-platform dynasties and things like that. But if we go on the main menu and go adjust our depth chart here, I have this set to UCF. I don't know if I mentioned this already. We're going to use UCF whenever Road to the College Football Playoff is fixed. Their single back bunch tight end looks awful nice. And they got a good empty set too. But if I come through here and adjust our depth chart on this menu, how does this not carry over into a Road to the College Football Playoff game? I'm pretty sure it does if you just hop into a play now. I'm pretty sure it does if you play a friend. But Road to the College Football Playoff, you have to pause the game right when it starts and go make all your changes to the depth chart. Just really annoying. Just a quality of life thing. It would make so much better, make my life so much better if I could just do it at the main menu and then be set for a Road to the CFP game. And another thing that's in Madden that's hopefully going to come to 27 is let us pick alternate uniforms. Like if we are going to keep Stadium Pulse and we have set home and away games, which that makes a ton of sense. You'd hate if it was random and you get 10 road games or something in a season. Let us say, okay, we're on the road. Give us the road options for that team for uniforms to wear. Let us pick different alternates, like the Service Academies again. Fantastic alternates. Let me wear the Jolly Rogers for Navy when I'm on the road. Like if we know we're at home or on the road, and even if not, because again, like in Madden, you can just go through and say, if I'm on the road, this is the jersey I'd like to wear. If I'm at home, this is the jersey I'd like to wear. Would love to see that come in to College Football 27. And the next thing, also just general about Road to the College Football Playoff, we didn't get a roster update at all until week 11 of the regular season. So by the time that actually rolled out, some overalls just jumped like crazy. Like Indiana is going to be the example I'm going to talk about here for a second, because they, of course, had a fantastic season. They started off in Tier 3. Once they started updating that roster, their overall just went up and up and up. But they'd stayed in Tier 3. It was great we were getting those roster updates, but we kind of have to have that adjust in the tiers as well, because a lot of people will come online and just say, oh, who's the highest overall team? I'll take Indiana. By the time they finally did adjust the rankings, which I couldn't believe they actually did, I'm pretty sure it was after the season was over. Indiana had been like a 92 or 93 overall team that was sitting in Tier 3 the entire time. That was like the only Tier 3 team we'd ever go up against. And it was driving me insane. So at least they finally did it. And mostly I overall, I definitely am a big fan of the tier idea. I'm not entirely sure how they do it, because I do feel like there's some teams that are misaligned. Like in Tier 1, I don't think Penn State should be a Tier 1 team. Their offense kind of stinks. They've got good running backs. I think it's really their defense doing the heavy lifting here. But like LSU is also an 85 overall. 100% they deserve to be in Tier 1. It's not really all about overalls. LSU has the best depth chart in the game. And going back to my point on the playbooks, if you could change your playbook, I don't know who would run with a team other than LSU. I think all you would see is LSU just in different playbooks, and I'm glad to not see that. And then you go down to like Tier 4, for example, UCLA. Also, just back to the service academies again. Air Force is in Tier 4. Army and Navy are both in Tier 5. Not sure how they decided to make that split, but it is what it is. In Tier 4, you have UCLA, who's only 78 overall. So if you're just looking at that, sure, they make sense as a Tier 4 team. But they've got like 3 or 4 94 speed receivers, a 99 speed corner. Nico is a freak quarterback in this game. They got a great running back. UCLA, I mean, they could fit in as a Tier 2 team, to be honest. So overall, like the tier system, I do think there's some tweaks and improvements EA could do on those. That's all I got for the general Road to the College Football Playoff stuff. Now we can talk about some gameplay examples. And in my opinion, the worst glitch that has been in between 25 and 26, just in the college football games, is this one, the field goal block glitch. So if you don't know what this is, you can just it's one of these two guys, and then loop your way right through here. And there's really not a ton you can do about it kicking wise. You can aim up and to the right and try to kick at half power. That sometimes helps, doesn't always help. And especially when you're going against South Carolina, and the guy they are doing that with is Dylan Stewart, because he is just going to loop right on around and block your kick, like every single time. Like every time. I don't get why people do it. I mean, I get why people do it because they're losers. But it's like, really, you're going to take advantage. So we try to even aim this up and to the right, try to kick it with less power, and it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. You got to take advantage of EA being dumb and blocking extra points. You got some bigger problems going on. So that, the worst glitch in my opinion that we have seen throughout the college football video games. I'm praying to whatever power is up there let it not be in College Football 27, because gosh, does that drive me insane. Speaking of new glitches, things that I don't remember from College Football 25 that is a huge problem in College Football 26 is going to be the doggy style defense. If you're not familiar with what that is having 3 down linemen, having a nose tackle right above the center, take your linebacker down, and really just get right up inside that nose tackle, which is just going to totally dumb out the offensive line, as we will see in this example from our online dynasty. So Rice is going to come down, get right behind this nose tackle, and look what the center does in this situation. Just ignores that nose tackle, goes right for that linebacker, and lets him come in. I actually even rewound this because I was so shocked. But yeah, that center just go right on by and blow it up for a loss of 4. And that's a very consistent thing you can do on the defensive side of the ball. A very dumb thing. I don't know. I don't remember seeing it in College Football 25, so I'm hoping that's something they can adjust and fix for College Football 27. So earlier, we talked about some new additions that actually really seem to help the defense, the stunts, adjusting your zones. There were some other additions on defense that I feel like did nothing, mainly the RPO settings that you can do in your coach adjustments. So here we have a clip from one of our online dynasty games. Don't worry about the score. Don't even bring it up. We came back and lost by 7, I think, in this game. But we have our RPO setting, and we'll actually show it at the end here, to play the pass. We take Mr. Hicks here and actually man him up on that tight end. Let's see if I can pause this while we can see that. So he was manned up on the tight end here. Our settings are to play the pass. Now I understand I think he's technically the read key in this situation, but still, imagine you're a coach. You tell your guy, you're manned up on that tight end. That tight end is your man. If he's going out for a pass, follow that guy. And then he reacts like this. Just comes running right after the quarterback. That guy's cut. He's not getting any NIL. He's hitting the transfer portal. He is gone. And we show here RPO pass key, focus on pass coverage. So in theory, I like the idea of having that set. But if I'm telling them to play pass, make them actually play the pass. I feel like I'm not asking for too much in that situation. So that's a few of the gameplay things. I don't have video examples of this, but in general, pursuit angles I feel are horrible in the game this year. Your safety will come running down and not even make an attempt at a running back. Same kind of thing with contains. 50-50 if they work or not. Sometimes they'll just roll right on by them like the contain's not even there, or the contain will even crash inside sometimes. Pursuit angles, contains. And then the last thing, I just have a quick thing on Dynasty about the coach carousel. It's a common complaint I see online in our online Dynasty. I think it was after season 2. Kirby Smart, the head coach of Georgia, went to join Utah State as its offensive coordinator. And stuff like that, you just feel like really shouldn't happen, and gave him a huge boost in recruiting and everything. It's no fault of Utah State, 100% you'd do that. Why the heck wouldn't you? But coach carousel in the Dynasty is something I would definitely like to see improved in College Football 27 as well. But that's really about it. Like I said, there's some things that EA got right. I think there's a lot of things we could still improve on for the new game. We got about a month and a half till it comes out. Hopefully we're getting beta stuff sometime soon. I haven't heard anything about it, so we'll just have to wait and see. But you guys will have to let me know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm sure I missed a ton of stuff. This was all just kind of off the top of my head and things I've ran into and experienced. So let me know what else you guys think. And don't just focus on what's wrong. I understand that's probably going to be 99% of the comments, but there are good things about this game too, as hard as it may be to believe. Yeah, that'll do it for today. Hopefully EA fixes this issue with Road to the College Football Playoffs, so we'll go back and play a few more games before College Football 27 rolls out here. We'll have another look ahead team I'm excited for when 27 comes out. We did Colorado last time, considering they're going to have the go-go offense next. I think we're going to do Michigan with them getting, which should be essentially the same as the Utah offense, which should be a ton of fun with Bryce Underwood. So that'll all be coming up next. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you guys then. Until then, take it easy.